All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say, Kol Haloyim Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakal Quitash. All right. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and who rule well in this truth. All right. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the true chosen people of the book. All right? We are the Hebrew Israelites. We come week in and week out to prophesy the downfall and the destruction of America. All right? Because in the Bible, America is known as Babylon the Great. And according to biblical prophecy, Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed and wiped off the face of this earth by nuclear fire, by thermonuclear destruction. All right? This is the will of the Heavenly Father. All right? This is the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right? Because America is the most vile, the most profane, the most abominable empire to ever exist in history. All right? The Lord hates this place with a very great and passionate hatred, man. And that's why it's going to be destroyed and wiped off the face of this earth by thermonuclear destruction, man. From New York to California, America is going to be a wasteland, a desert. All right? And once this place is destroyed, all right, this place is never going to be inhabited ever again. All right, nothing is ever going to inhabit this place. All right, this place is going to become a flat land. All right, and again, this gospel, all right, it's preached unto you Israelites, you Negroes, you Latinos, and Native Americans. The people on this sign right here, because you Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, you are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. And this word is only for the nation of Israel. It is for no one else. The Lord did not give his word to anybody else, to no other nation. So when we come out here, we're out here for y'all, man, and y'all only. And first and foremost, the elect. All right, because we know only the elect is going to come back. All right, which is also known as the 1/3 in the scriptures. And 2/3 of you Israelites are going to be destroyed, man. All right, for not returning back to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right. So matter of fact, let's prove that, man. All right, let's prove it, man. All right, let's get into it, man. All right, let's get Psalms 147. All right, because really what I want to get into is the epistles of Paul, man, and who he was writing to, man. All right, but I'll start off with this, man. All right, because I feel y'all through the video, man. All right. Oh, the Lord didn't just give his word to Israel. All right, but we're going to prove it, man. All right, we're going to prove it. All right, let's get Psalms. Let's get the book of Psalms, man. All right, Psalms 147. All right, and 19. All right, Psalms 147 and 19. All right, he showeth his word to Jacob. All right, who is Jacob, man? All right, Jacob is the forefather of the Israelite nation. All right, out of the loins of Jacob comes the entire nation of Israel. All right, you Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans. All right, so the scripture says that he gave his, I'll read it again, Psalms 147 and 19, he showeth his word unto Jacob. So Jacob represents the nation of Israel, man. All right, the Lord saying that he showed his word unto Jacob means he showed his word unto the Israelites, man. All right, Psalms 147 and 19, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. All right, verse 20, he has not dealt so with any nation. All right, so the Lord doesn't deal with any other nation, man. All right, we're reading that he gave his word to the nation of Israel, and the Lord doesn't deal with any other nation this way, meaning he didn't give his word to any other nation, man. He didn't give his laws to any other nation, his word to any other nation, his statutes, his commandments to any other nation. All right, that was only given to the nation of Israel, man. Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, man. All right? Psalms 147:19, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel, man. He didn't do that for any other nation, man. All right, and when you read this verse in the NLT, it's even clearer, man. All right, it's even more plain. All right, the way it's written. All right, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation. And it says, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. All right. So these other nations don't know the judgments and the ways of the Lord, man. All right. Because the Lord didn't give his ways, his laws, his word to any other nation. We just read it, man. He has not dealt so with any other nation. All right. And the Lord never changes, man. The Lord don't change at all. The Lord's the same today, tomorrow, the next day. All right, because a lot of y'all Christians, you wacky-tacky Christians, all right, and all you other people that don't understand the Bible, all right, you think the Lord changed from the Old Testament to the New Testament, man. The Lord didn't never had to change your heart, man. All right. Oh, that's the Old Testament. All right, well, let's get Malachi, man. All right, and then we gonna get Hebrews 13. All right, let's get that, man. All right, let's get the book of Malachi, man. All right, let's get the book of Malachi. Let's grab it real quick. All right, this is the book of Malachi. All right, 3 and 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. All right, yeah, the Lord said, I am the Lord, I change not. All right, I change not. All right, it's already written. We're reading what's already written. All right, we're reading that Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, all right, only gave his word to one people. All right, his laws to one people. All right, he didn't give his word to everybody else, man. All right, and the Lord doesn't change, man. The Lord didn't say, oh, you know what? I know what I said, but never mind. Scratch that. I didn't really mean that. Nah, that's not the mind of the Lord. The Lord don't change, man. The Lord is not some fickle being, man. When the Lord says something, that's final, man. And it goes no other way. So when the Lord said he gave his word unto Israel, all right, you Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, all right, that's the end all be all, man. That's it, man. It doesn't change after that. All right. So let's read it again. Malachi 3 and 6. I am the Lord. Excuse me. Malachi 3 and 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Yeah, the Lord doesn't change. That's why you sons of Jacob, you Israelites, are not consumed, because the Lord made a promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right? So that's why, even though we were being wicked as hell, we were not consumed. We weren't put off. All right? We weren't destroyed as a people, man. Because the Lord made a promise, and the Lord can't back out of his promises, man. All right? The Lord is bound by his own word, his own oath, man. All right? Woo! The Lord never changed, so let's get that. Let's also get that in Hebrews 13. All right? All right, Hebrews 13 and 8. All right, it says Jesus Christ here, but we know that's not his real name. All right, his real name is Yahweh Shai. All right, that's the name of the Messiah, Yahweh Shai. All right, so it says Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, the same yesterday and the same. Excuse me, read that again. Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. All right, the same yesterday and today and forever. So the Son is just like the Heavenly Father. He's the same today, the same the next day, and the same forever, man. The Lord don't change at all. At all. Not one bit. The Lord didn't change from today and then tomorrow he has a totally different idea. or a totally different concept or a change of thought, man. Nah, the Lord never has a change of thought, man. The Lord declared the end from the beginning, man. Before the Lord created everything, he already know how he wanted it to end before he even started it, man. The Lord don't change at all, man. Not one bit, man. All right. So matter of fact, let's also get that in in Hebrews 6 and 17. All right. Let's get that. Hebrews 6 and 17. All right. It says, wherein the Most High willing more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise the immutability of his counsel, confirmed it by an oath. Yeah, the Lord confirmed the immutability of his counsel with an oath, because the Lord can't back out of his promise. The Lord is bound by his own word, his own oath. So the Lord doesn't change. All right, so let's read that again. Verse 17, Hebrews 6 and 17, wherein God willing more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise the immutability of his counsel. All right, the Lord's counsel is immutable, man. The word immutability means unable to be changed or unable to make change. The Lord's counsel doesn't change. It's impossible for his counsel to change, man. How can he change from the Old Testament to the New Testament when whatever's written in the Old Testament, it's already written? That's it, man. You know? There's no and, ifs, or buts after that, man. You know? All right, let's read that one more time. All right, Hebrews 6 and 17, wherein God willing more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise the immutability of his counsel, confirm it by an oath. All right, the immutability of his counsel. The Lord's counsel is immutable, meaning it's impossible to change. All right, the Lord never changed his thought or what he wanted to do. The Lord declared the end from the beginning, man. All right. The Lord already knew how he wanted to go before he even started it, and how he already knew how the end wanted to go before he started everything, man. You know? Talking about, oh, that's the Old Testament. Nah, man. Nothing changed from the Old Testament to the New Testament, man. All right, both testaments, both covenants were only for the nation of Israel anyway, man. All right, not for every nation, man. All right, so matter of fact, let's prove that. All right, let's prove that. Let's get Jeremiah. All right, and we'll get Hebrews. All right. All right. Excuse me. All right, Jeremiah 31 and 31. All right, it says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. All right, it doesn't say anybody else. All right, the Lord said that he will make a new covenant, because that's what the word testament means. All right, another word for testament is covenant, all right, agreement or contract. All right, the Lord said he's going to make a new covenant with the house of Judah and with the house of Israel, which represents the southern kingdom of Israel and the northern kingdom of Israel. All right, because after the death of King Solomon, all right, the kingdom of Israel was split into two. All right, but when Yahushua comes back, all right, the nation of Israel is going to come together as one, and it's not going to be no more two kingdoms, man. That's spoken about in Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. All right, and I get that after I get this. All right, you know, because right now this kingdom is split. The southern kingdom, all right, which is Benjamin, Judah, Benjamin and Levi. All right, And the northern kingdom is the rest of the tribes, man. All right, from Simeon all the way down to Issachar, man. All right, to you Dominicans all the way down to you Mexicans, man. All right. So it says, I'll read it again, Jeremiah 31 and 31. All right. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. All right. Not with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Nobody else is in there, man. The Lord didn't mention nobody else. He said with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. He didn't say with the house of Elam or with the house of Ishmael or the house of Canaan or the house of Edom. All right. He didn't say the house of Japhet. All right. He didn't say the house of Cush. All right. He didn't say none of that, man. The Lord said with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, man, which is in the entire nation of Israel, man. All right. So and like I said, and we've been reading that the Lord doesn't change. He said the same thing in the New Testament, man, through the Apostle Paul, man. Because the Lord doesn't change, man. All right. Matter of fact, let's bring that out as well. It's also in the New Testament, man. All right. Because again, the Lord don't change, man. All right. Oh, that's the Old Testament, right? All right. Well, let's get the New Testament too, then. All right. Let's get it. The Lord never changed, man. All right. The Lord don't change at all, man. All right. So this is Hebrews 8, and I'll start at 7. All right. Hebrews 8 and 7. For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. All right, because Paul's quoting the Old Testament. All right, because during the time of the New Testament, where were they reading from? All right, the Old Testament, man, because the New Testament wasn't written yet. The New Testament is based off the Old Testament, man. All right, it's one testament. It goes hand in hand, man. All right, you know. And a lot of you Christians think that the Old Testament is done away with. You know, there's still prophecies in the Old Testament that still hasn't been fulfilled yet, man. You know. All right. So let's get what did I say I was going to get? Ezekiel 37. All right, let's get that, man. All right. Just to show you that because after the death of King Solomon, all right, the nation of Israel was split into two kingdoms, man. All right. The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. But when the Lord comes back, the Lord is going to join us back together, man. And it's going to be one entire kingdom, man. The nation of Israel, man. It's going to be one kingdom. All right. So let's read that. I'll start at Ezekiel 37 and 21. All right. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. Yeah, we're in the Old Testament. This is a prophecy that hasn't been fulfilled yet. All right. And this goes to show you that the nation of Israel is scattered, all right, throughout the four corners of the earth. That was one of the curses, all right, that Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, all right, that the Most High, all right, put upon us, man, to make us weak as a people. All right, so let's read that again. It says, and say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, showing you that the Lord scattered us among the heathen. We're among the heathen right now. And the Lord is getting ready to gather us from among the heathen and drop us back into the Holy Land. That didn't happen yet. All right, the true Israelites, they're not in the Holy Land already, man. They're not in the Holy Land yet. The people in the Holy Land right now, that's Amalek, man. All right, that's the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. All right, that's Esau, Edom over there. That's the Edomites over there, man, who descend from Esau, the people that the Lord hates. All right, with a very great passionate hatred. The Lord said, "I will have war with Amalek for generation and generation," man. The Lord will always hate Esau, Edom. The Lord will always hate Amalek, man. All right. But anyway, let's keep reading. All right. Ezekiel 37:21. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. All right, that didn't happen yet. That's getting ready to happen. All right. Verse 22. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, and they shall be no more two nations. You see? All right. We're not going to be two nations anymore, man. It's not going to be no southern kingdom and northern kingdom. It's just going to be one kingdom, one giant kingdom, man. All right, one giant righteous kingdom, man. All right, dwelling in righteousness, man. All right. All right. It says, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, and they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. You see? All right. It says, neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols. Goes to show you that the people in the land today, they're not the real ones, man. Because the Lord says when he brings them, we're reading it right now, the Lord says when he brings them back into the Holy Land, all right, that they're not going to defile themselves anymore with their idols, man. All right, there's only one true power, man, and that's Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man. All right, they don't over there, they don't worship Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. All right, that land is defiled, man. The Lord said that they're not going to no longer be, that land is not going to be no longer defiled, and the Israelites are not going to be no longer defiled. All right, because over there in the land of Israel, all right, what's one of the laws, man? All right, of the Lord, man. All right, not to be a mo, not to be a skittle. But over there in the land of Israel, they hold the biggest pride parade in the entire world, in the Holy Land, man. All right, I think in Jerusalem, man, in the city of David, man. All right, they hold the largest pride parade in the world inside the Holy Land. But the scriptures say that when the Israelites return to the land, they're not going to no longer defile themselves with their idols. They're not going to be no longer defiled, man. All right, and that the law of the Lord shall go forth out into the whole world. You don't see that happening right now with them over in the land. Shoot, the world is making war with the people over in the land. The law not going forth out of that land, all right, to be spread throughout this earth. All right. It says, neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols, nor with their detestable things. Yeah, because to be a skittle, to be a damn mo, that's an abominable thing. All right, abominable. All right, detestable is another word for abominable, man. The Lord said they're not going to no longer defile themselves with detestable things. Being a mo, being a damn skittle. All right, that's abominable. That's detestable in the eyes of the Lord, man. All right. But the Lord said when the Israelites return to the land, they're not going to no longer be vile or be detestable unto their idols, man. We're reading it right now. So that goes to show you that them over there, they're not the real ones, bro. All right? It says, nor with any of their transgressions. Yeah, what is transgression? All right, transgression is another word for sin. All right, so the Lord said that when the Israelites return back to the Holy Land, they're not going to sin anymore. They're going to be made perfect. All right, because that's the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is when the Lord comes and he takes the children of Israel from among the heathen throughout the four corners of the earth and bring them back into the Holy Land. They're going to be given new bodies and they're going to be made perfect. All right, and they're going to be immortal. They're never going to sin again, man. All right, because that's the kingdom of heaven. They're going to be made rulers and gods, all right, upon this planet Earth. They're going to be immortal. They're going to live forever. And the reason why they're going to live forever is because they're never going to sin, because the wages of sin is death. That's the reason why we die, because of sin. So we're not going to sin in the kingdom of heaven. That's why we're not going to die. We're going to live forever and be immortal, man. All right? Those people over, that's how you know they're not the Israelites, man, because they died. Everyone on this earth can die right now. But when the true Israelites return back to the Holy Land, all right, they're going to be immortal. It's going to be impossible for them to die, all right, because they're going to be made perfect, all right. We're reading right now, when the Israelites return back to the Holy Land, they're not going to transgress anymore, meaning they're not going to sin anymore, all right, because they're going to be perfect, man, all right. They're going to be put in new bodies, right, all right. They're going to be changed in the twinkling of an eye, like it says in 1 Corinthians the 15th chapter. We'll get that too. All right. Anyway, it says, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into kingdoms anymore at all. You see? Into two kingdoms anymore at all. Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. All right, so they're not going to be defiled with their sins anymore once they return back to the Holy Land. All right, but all they do over there is sin and sin and sin, man. That's how you know they're not the real ones. They're a bunch of moles and skittles over there, man. Doing all types of satanic sacrifices and all that, man. All right? Because they're the devil, man. All right? It says, but I will save them out of all their dwelling places, wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their God. Yeah, the Lord is going to cleanse us, man. We're not going to sin anymore. And that's why the Lord said they're going to be my people, and I shall be their God, man. All right? Woo. And that's going to be beautiful, man. All right? It says, and David, my servant, shall be king over them. Yeah, and that's another reason. That's another way we know that they're not the true ones over there, man, in the land right now, man. All right? Because in the kingdom of heaven, because let me explain to you what the kingdom of heaven is. The kingdom of heaven is when the Lord comes back, all right, and he takes the children of Israel, the true Israelites, you Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, and he raises them up to be kings and gods and rulers of this planet Earth once again. All right, the kingdom of Israel, the kingdom of heaven is only for the nation of Israel. Nobody else is going to rule this planet Earth when Yahushua comes back. Only the Israelites, man. Every other nation, every other race on earth is going to be slaves and subjects unto the nation of Israel, man. All right? No other nation is going to rule this planet Earth with Israel, man. With the Israelites, man. That's what the king and the Israelites are going to be immortal. They're going to live forever. They're going to be perfect. They're going to be dropped into the Holy Land, man. All right. It says, and David shall be my king over them. Yeah, that's right. In the kingdom of heaven, King David is going to be our king again, man. When Yahushua returns, King David is going to be our king again. All right, so if they're the real ones over there, right? Where's King David at? Where is King David at, man? Where are the streets of gold at? Where's King David at, man? How come the law's not going forth out of that land? Come on, man. All right, it says, and David my servant shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments. Yeah, are the people over there in the land of Israel, are they walking in the Lord's judgments? Nah, they can't anyway, because the Lord's judgments and his word, his law wasn't given to them, man. All right? They were given the word of the Lord was only given to the Israelites. They're not the Israelites over there in the Holy Land right now. That's Amalek that's over there in the Holy Land right now. Children of Esau, descendants of Esau, man. All right? It says, and David my servant shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. They shall all also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever. Showing you that we're going to have children in the kingdom of heaven. All right? Because that's another thing. You wacky-tacky Christians think that we're not going to have children in the kingdom of heaven. That there's not going to be sex in the kingdom of heaven. All right? All right? So it says, and they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. King David is going to be our king, our prince forever. All right? Forever. So King David is going to be our king once again in the kingdom of heaven when the Israelites return back into the Holy Land, man. All right? Because the dead in Yahushua shall rise first, man. All right? Because when the Lord comes back, some of the elect that are in the spiritual world right now, they're going to come out of their graves, man. All right? To get beamed up into the chariots to escape the destruction. All right? The scriptures say the dead in Yahushua shall rise first. All right? And they're going to meet the rest of the elect in the clouds in the chariots, man. All right? Let's read that again. It says, and my servant David shall be their prince forever. Yeah. All right? So King David is going to be our king again in the kingdom of heaven. So where's King David at? If the true Israelites are in the Holy Land right now, where's King David at, man? Huh? Where's King David at, man? Where he at? Let me know. All right? Let me know, man. All right? Matter of fact, let me get Let me grab a scripture real quick. Let me get 2 Samuel real quick. All right? Matter of fact, let's start off with because I know what that precept was talking about. It was going to go into having kids in the kingdom of heaven. All right. Anyway, like I said, when I first started this lesson, right, what I really wanted to get into is the epistles of Paul and who he was actually talking to and writing to, man. All right, because Paul's letters wasn't written to everybody, man. All right, all of Paul's letters were written to the Israelites, man. All right, because these people that have no understanding, all right, no wisdom, knowledge, and true understanding of the Bible, they don't understand that Paul's letters were only written to one people, man. All right, which were the Israelites. They think that Paul was writing to all the people in the world, man. All right, because Paul was his office was to the Gentiles, right? But who were those Gentiles, man? Those Gentiles are not talking about people who are not Israelites, man. The Gentiles that Paul was writing to, or that he was preaching to and writing to, were dispersed Israelites that were among the Gentile nations, man. That's why they were being called Gentiles, all right? Because they were living amongst the Gentiles in the Gentile nations, all right? Taking on the customs of the Gentiles, worshiping Gentile gods, all right? Speaking Gentile languages, taking on Gentile customs, all right? So they became Gentiles because they were taking on Gentile ways, living amongst the Gentiles in the Gentile lands, man. So that's why Paul was calling them Gentiles, man. All right, those Gentiles that received salvation in the New Testament, those Gentiles that Paul was writing to were Israelites, man, that were dispersed amongst the Gentiles. All right, they weren't actual Gentiles. All right, because you wacky-tacky Christians and all you other people that have no understanding of the Bible, you see the word Gentile and automatically think it's talking about someone who's not an Israelite or someone who's not a Jew. No. The Israelites in the Bible in the New Testament were also called Gentiles. They were also known as Gentiles. So let's prove that. All right. Let's get 1 Corinthians. All right. Let's get 1 Corinthians 12. Matter of fact, at the beginning of every letter that Paul wrote, he addressed first chapter, all right? So this is the beginning, this is the first chapter of the book of Corinthians, all right? At the beginning of every letter, Paul addresses who he is writing to. Just like when you write a letter today, you say, dear so-and-so, all right? Letting you know that that's who you're writing to, right? So let's see who Paul was writing to in the New Testament, in the book of Corinthians, right? All right? Let's start at 1 Corinthians 1 and 1. It says, Paul, called to be an apostle of Yahushai Hamashiach through the will of the Most High, and Sosthenes our brother, unto the church of the Most High, which is at Corinth, which is in Greece, all right? To them that are sanctified in Hamashiach Yahushai, called to be saints, all right? There was only one people in the Bible, all right, one nation in the Bible known as saints, all right? He's writing to the people that are called to be saints. Who were those people? Those are the Israelites, all right? Only the Israelites were called to be saints, man. All right, so let's prove that, all right? But anyway, let's first reading this and we'll prove that the saints are talking about the Israelites. Not anyone is a saint, man. There's only one people throughout the Bible that are known as saints, man. And those are the Israelites. But anyway, verse 2, 1 Corinthians 1 and 2. It says, unto the church of the Most High, which is at Corinth, to them that are sanctified in Hamashiach Yahushai, called to be saints, with all that in every place call upon the name of Yahushai, all right? So he's writing to the people that were called to be saints. Who were called to be saints? Who are known as saints in the Bible? Let's get it. All right, let's get the book of Psalms. All right, the 50th chapter. All right, let's get Psalms 50 and 5. All right, so it says, Psalms 50 and 5, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. So what people, what nation of people, all right, made a covenant with the Most High by sacrifice? The Israelites. The Lord said, gather my saints together unto me, those that made a covenant with me by sacrifice, which are the Israelites. So the Lord is calling the Israelites saints. Let's read that again. All right. Psalms 50:5, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And that's in it's Exodus the 24th chapter. All right, we made a covenant with the Most High by sacrifice. When you read about the covenant that the Lord gave us, all right, it was the sprinkling of the blood, man. All right. So it says, I'll read it again. Psalms 50:5, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And that's only one people. All right, the nation of Israel. You Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, man. And also, that's also in Psalms 50. All right, no, Psalms 148. My bad. Psalms 148 and 14. It says, he also exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel. All right. So the Lord is calling the children of Israel saints, man. All right. A people near unto him, praise ye the Lord. All right. So at the beginning of the book of Corinthians, all right, the Lord, at the beginning of all the epistles of Paul, all the letters of Paul, he addresses who he is writing to. And he always says to the saints, or the ones that are called to be saints, which are the Israelites, man. He's not writing to no other people, man. All right. He's only writing to the Israelites who were called Gentiles, man. All right. He was calling them Gentiles because they were living amongst the Gentiles in Gentile lands, taking on Gentile customs. All right. Worshiping their gods, dressing their way. All right. Eating what they eat. All right. Keeping, the everything that the Gentiles do. They were taking on their ways, man. All right. And we'll prove that as well. All right. Let's get that in 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter. All right. 1 Corinthians 12. All right. So this is Paul writing to the Israelites. All right. 1 Corinthians 12:1. All right. It says, now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. So he's telling the Israelites that ye were Gentiles. Yeah, because before you came back to the faith of Yahushai, all right, the faith of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, you were a Gentile, man. Because you were worshiping their gods and taking on their ways, all right, taking on their idols, all right. This is why he said, ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. That's how the Israelites became Gentiles, because we started worshiping their gods and their idols, taking on their idols, man. All right, let's read that one more time, and we'll get Psalms 106. All right, 1 Corinthians 12:2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. All right. So we were scattered amongst the Gentiles. Then we took on their ways, their gods, their idols, and we became Gentiles ourselves. All right. So let's also prove that with Psalms 106. All right. Let's get the book of Psalms 106. All right. Let's grab that real quick. Psalms 106 and man, this is good too. All right, this is good to me. All right, this is Psalms 106 and 28. All right, it says they joined themselves also unto Baal Peor and ate the sacrifice of the dead. Yeah, we started worshiping other gods, man, other idols, man. This is talking about the Israelites. Going into how they became Gentiles, all right? Because we started worshiping, taking on their gods and their customs, man. All right? The Gentiles that received salvation in the New Testament were not actual Gentiles. There were Israelites that were dispersed amongst the Gentile nations, taking on Gentile gods, man. That's why they were known as Gentiles. That's how they became Gentiles, man. Because they didn't have Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man. All right. So it says they joined themselves also unto Baal Pehor and ate the sacrifice of the dead. Thus they provoked him to anger with their inventions, and the plague break in upon them. Yeah, we angered the Lord because we started worshiping other gods. And that's why we were brought down from the rulership of this planet Earth. Because during the time of King David, all right, King Solomon, we ruled this planet Earth. All right, we were kings and gods of this planet Earth, man. All right, we ruled, man. All right, this whole earth. All right, but the Lord brought us down from that rulership because of our wickedness, and he set our enemies over us, man. That's why you Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans today, till this day, are at the bottom of society. And all these other nations are above us, man. All right? So it says, they provoked him to anger with their inventions, and the plague break in upon them. Matter of fact, let's also get that in the book of Baruch. All right, let's get the book of Baruch. All right. The book of Baruch, the 2nd chapter. All right. Starting at the 1st verse. All right. It says, moreover, has he delivered them to be in subjection to all the kingdoms that are round about us, to be as a reproach and a desolation among all the people round about where the Lord has scattered them. Yeah, because the Lord scattered us throughout the 4 corners of the earth. All right, and where we were scattered, all right, for example, here in America, all these other nations are above us, man. All right, the Chinese, the Japanese, whoever, the East Indians, man, they're all above us, man. All right, they're all above us, man. They come into our own hoods, they set up shop, and they make money off of us. They're more richer than us in our own hoods, man. You know, you got the Indians, the Elamites, all right. They set up their liquor stores, all right. They're fake ass, all right. Then you know you got Moab that comes in with his little Chinese spot. They set up shop, you know. All right. Verse 4 again, moreover has he delivered them, the them is talking about the Israelites, to be in subjection to all the kingdoms that are around that are around about us. Yeah, every other nation around about us, we're under them, man. You Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, we're lower than everybody in the society, man. All right? We don't rule nothing on this planet Earth, man. We don't rule or control nothing on this planet Earth, man. All right? Moreover, he has delivered them to be in subjection to all the kingdoms that are round about us, to be as a reproach and desolation among all the people round about, where the Lord has scattered them. Thus we were cast down, and not exalted. Yeah, the Lord cast us down, man. He casted down his own people from the rulership of this planet Earth. All right, from the great people that we once were. And look now how he made us, man. Our people are drug addicts, heroin addicts. We don't even know who we are anymore. We're nothing but alcoholics. Our people are dumb as hell. You know, they don't know who their God is anymore. You know, the Lord brought us down from that great state that we were once in because of our wickedness, man. All right, we were cast down and no longer exalted, like we just read. All right, verse 5, it says, thus we were cast down and not exalted, because we have sinned against the Lord our God and have not been obedient unto his voice. That's why we were kicked out of the Holy Land, because we were worshiping all types of other gods, all right? Sacrificing our own children unto other gods, all right? Sacrificing swine's flesh upon the altars, doing all types of wicked ass abomination. The most filthy, the most abominable things you can think of, we were doing unto the Holy Land. So the Lord kicked us out of the Holy Land and scattered us throughout the four corners of the earth and made us weak as a people. The Lord brought us down and we were no longer exalted as a great people, man. All right? The Lord did a number on us, man. Straight up. The Lord did a number on us, man. All right? Our people are finished, bro. Our people are finished out here. Look at our people out here. Look around you, man. Our people are stuck in the slums and the ghettos. All they want to do is kill each other and hate each other. All right? Eat the most garbage food. We're all drug addicts and alcoholics, man. All right? Looking stupid as hell in the hood with no wisdom and knowledge, man, of who they are, of who their God is, man. Just done up out here, man, in all types of ways, man. All right? So now let's go back to Psalms 106. All right, to prove to you this is how we became Gentiles, man. All right, the Israelites became Gentiles, man. All right. So this is Psalms. I'll start at verse 28 again. Psalms 106 and 28. All right. It says, they joined themselves also unto Baal Peor, talking about the Israelites, and ate the sacrifice of the dead. Thus they provoked him to anger with their inventions, and the plague break in upon them. Then stood Phinehas, all right, and executed judgment, and so the plague was stayed, and that was counted unto him for righteousness unto all generations forevermore. All right. They angered him also at the waters of strife, so that it went ill with Moses for their sakes, because they provoked his spirit, so that he spake unadvisedly with his lips. All right. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them. Yeah. Because when we entered into the Holy Land, before we entered into the Holy Land to take what was ours, all right, the other nations, all right, the Canaanites were in our Holy Land, all right, and the Lord said to destroy and kill and slaughter all these other nations that are there, because if we don't destroy and slaughter them there, that they're going to be a thorn, all right, in our side. And that's exactly what they were, man. All right, they had us in captivity, man. We started worshiping their idols and all that, man. All right. All right. And that goes to show you that God doesn't love everybody, man. All right. If the Most High, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, loved everybody, why would he tell the Israelites to go to kill these people, man? All right. Because they were in our land. And the Lord said to take them out of your land. All right. All right. So it says, verse 34, they did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them, yeah, but were mingled among the heathen. All right, yeah, the Israelites are mingled among the heathen and learned their works. Yeah, we learned their works, their ways. We learned the works of the Gentiles, man. That's how we became Gentiles, because we learned their works. We started worshiping their gods, taking on their customs, dressing the way they dress, talking the way they talk, eating the way they eat. All right? Celebrating what they celebrate. All right? Again, worshiping their gods and their idols and all types of stuff, man. We learned their works. That's how we became Gentiles, man. All right? So to let you know, those Gentiles that Paul was writing to were Israelites, man. All right? It says, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works, and they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. You see? Yea, they sacrifice their sons and their daughters unto devils. Yeah, being wicked as hell. The Israelites, until this day, you Israelites, you Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans are wicked as hell, man. All right? The last thing that crosses your mind is fearing the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, man. All right? When's the last time you Negroes prayed, man? You Negroes and you Spics prayed, man. All right? And you Native Americans, man. The last thing that crosses your mind is fearing the Most High and coming back to the Most High, man. All you niggas just wanna do what y'all wanna do, man. All right? And then you think the Lord is dealing with you, you know? It says, yea, they sacrifice their idols and their daughters unto devils. Yeah, our own daughters, all right, and our own sons we will put through the fire. We will burn them, all right? In the ancient world, this is why the Lord did a great number on us to the point we don't even know who we are anymore. But the Lord is bringing us back. The great awakening is happening right now. All right, the Lord said that in the last days, he's going to raise up the tabernacle of David. And that's exactly what you see happening right now. All right, with the Israelites out here on the highways and hedges, man, preaching this gospel. First and foremost, the Israelites of Great Millstone, because that's who has the 100% truth of the Bible. All right, the Israelites of Great Millstone and the ones that teach the like doctrine. All right, that teach in like manner. All right. So it says, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and the blood of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan. And the land was polluted with blood. That's right. Ooh, the land was polluted with blood. So that's why Israel has to get hit with nuclear fire, with nuclear missiles. Because when the true Israelites were there, all right, in the ancient world, all right, we polluted the land ourselves, all right? And then when the Holy Land was trodden down by the Gentiles, like it is now, they polluted it even more, all right? So Israel definitely got, the land of Israel, the Holy Land definitely got to get hit with nuclear missiles. That place got to be cleansed. That place got to get hit with super duper nuclear missiles, bro. And it is. And it is. It is, bro. Whether you believe it or not, it is, bro. Nuclear missiles has to hit that place. That land has to be cleansed before the true Israelites return back to the Holy Land. Because before we step back into the Holy Land, we're going to be immortal. We're going to be righteous. And us in our perfect bodies, we're not going to step into a land that's defiled. You know, a land that's greatly defiled. All right, because it says that the land is polluted with blood. All right, and the land, that's what defiles the land. Blood defileth the land. All right, like it tells you in the book of Numbers. I think it's the 35th chapter or the 32nd chapter. All right, so it says, and the land was polluted with blood. Thus were they defiled with their own works, and went a-whoring with their own inventions. Yeah, we went a-whoring, man. All right, because we committed spiritual fornication. All right, we weren't following the Most High. We committed spiritual fornication, spiritual adultery. All right, that's why the Lord called. That's why the Lord said we went a-whoring. All right, the Lord called the nation of Israel a whore, because a whore does what? Is a whore. All right, sleeps in bed with other men and all that. And the Lord called us a whore because we were worshiping other gods. All right, and the Lord is a jealous power, man. The Lord's looking like, nigga, I'm the one, but yet you out here worshiping other gods, like I'm not him. You know, like I'm not the one, like I'm not the Most High. You know. So we committed we committed spiritual adultery, man. All right, why? Because the Lord looks at the nation of Israel like his wife. That's why, you know, when you got the parable of the marriage, all right, the Lord said bid them to the marriage, man. All right, the marriage is the kingdom of heaven. We're married unto Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. The Lord loves the nation of Israel like how a man loves his wife, man. That's why we're known as the Lord's wife, his woman, man. You know, says, Jeremiah 6:2, it says, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. All right, so the Lord said that he has likened the daughter of Zion, all right, which represents the daughter of Zion is the nation of Israel. All right, Zion is another word for Israel. All right, the word Zion comes from the Hebrew word to Zion, which means monument. All right, a monument is something that represents something. When you see a monument, you look at it, you know what it stands for, right? We are the Lord's monument, the nation of Israel, man. We represent the Lord, man. All right, the nation of Israel, man. All right, you know, the Lord's glory is shown through us, man. You know, through his people, man. All right, it says, Jeremiah 6:2, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. So the Lord looks at us like a woman. We're his woman, man. So that's why when we commit worship other gods and don't follow the Most High, we commit wickedness. All right, the Lord said that we have went a whoring, man. We committed adultery, man, with the Lord, man. You know. Matter of fact, let's get that too. That's also in Jeremiah. Let's grab that real quick. The Lord called us a harlot. Jeremiah 3, all right? Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter. Let's grab that real quick. Jeremiah 3, all right? It says, Jeremiah 3:1, they say if a man put away his wife and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Yeah, because now she's defiled, right? She's defiled, right? Because she left you, now she's with another man. You now gonna return back to that woman after she's already been with another man? Oh, nah, bro. All right. It says, they say if a man put away his wife and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, saith the Lord. Yeah, so the Lord is talking about the nation of Israel. You wanna start worshiping other gods, but now you wanna come back to me? All right? The Lord is like, should I accept you? Which, you know, the Lord made an oath to Abraham, all right, that the sons of Jacob are not consumed. All right? All right? It says, verse 2, lift up thy eyes unto the high places and see where thou hast not been lying with. All right. In the ways hast thou set for them as the Arabian in the wilderness, and thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms and with thy wickedness. Yeah, so every time we committed wickedness, the Lord called us a whore, man. We committed spiritual adultery, spiritual fornication, man. All right? It said, because the nation of Israel, they just kept being wicked and wicked and wicked and wicked and wicked, till the Lord eventually kicked out us to the Holy Land. That's why we were always in captivity, man, under these other nations. The Assyrian captivity, the Babylonian captivity, all right? The Persian and the Mede captivity, the Greek captivity, the Roman captivity, all right? And this captivity now, which is the second iteration of the Roman captivity, man, all right? It says, and thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms and with thy wickedness. Therefore the showers have been withholden, and there has been no latter rain. And thou hast a whore's forehead, thou refuses to be ashamed. Yeah, because our people were committing all types of wickedness, and they still weren't ashamed of it, man. All right? You know, the Lord said that we have a whore's forehead, man. All right. All right. And thou has a whore's forehead, thou refuses to be ashamed. Will thou not for this time cry unto me, my father? Thou art the guide of my youth. Will he reserve his anger forever? Will he keep it to the end? Behold, thou hast spoken and done evil things as thou couldest. All right. And it says, the Lord said also unto me in the days of Josiah the king, hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel has done, which is gone up upon every high mountain and under every green tree? Yeah, because, you know, in the high mountains and under the green trees, you know, you got something that's called groves. All right, we made groves, which were, you know, places like altars where you will worship, you know, upon the high places where you will worship. All right, but we were worshiping other gods, man. We were going off, man. All right. It says, hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel has done? She is gone up upon every high mountain and under every green tree, and there has played the harlot. You see? All right, we played the harlot. The Lord looking at us like, damn, we a whore, bro. The Lord looking at us like, yo, you a whore, bro. And you know, as men here on this earth, we hate women who are whores. We look at it, bitch, and be like, yo, you a fucking whore. You know, when we see a woman, all right, sleeping with all types of men, we be like, yo, this bitch nasty, bro. We be like, this bitch a whore. All right, that's how the Lord was looking at us, like we fucking nasty, man. All right, that's why the Lord called us a whore, man. Like, look, fucking whore, man. You know, and that's why the Lord did a great number on us, man. But the Lord bringing us back to make us his chosen people again, because the Lord made an oath with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and it's impossible for the Lord to break his word. The Lord is bound by his own oath. The Lord made a promise, all right, to give us a land flowing with milk and honey, and that hasn't happened yet. The Lord is getting ready to bring us back into the Holy Land flowing with milk and honey, you know. All right, so it says, and I said, after she had done all these things, turn thou unto me. Yeah, so the Lord just got that mercy, man. So the Lord said, after you even committed all this wickedness, I'm still telling you to come back to me, man. You know? That's crazy, man. Turn thou unto me, but she returned not. Yeah, our people in the ancient world, we was wicked as hell, bro. After the sin of Solomon, we just became wicked as hell, bro. After King Solomon died, bro, the nation of Israel just, till this day, man. Till this day, only the elect are coming back to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, man. Only the elect, the 1/3, the remnant. The Lord said, and a remnant shall return. A remnant is a small piece, man. A small piece, a small portion of the Israelites are coming back to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. All right, which are also known as the elect, the 1/3, the house of David, the tabernacle of David. That's who's coming back to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai in these last days, man. And Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Ratazah, I am of the elect, man. Whew, Lord willing. All right. It says, but she returned not, and her treacherous sister Judah saw it. Yeah. All right. So, because the northern kingdom was wicked as hell first, man. And the Lord said her treacherous sister Judah, which is the southern kingdom, saw it, man, and did the same exact thing, man. All right. That's why the northern kingdom was kicked out of the land first, man, by the Assyrians, man. Was taken out of that land by the Assyrians, man. The northern kingdom was scattered first, and then the southern kingdom, man. You see? All right. It says, and her treacherous sister Judah saw it, and I saw And for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I have put her away and giving her a bill of divorce. All right. Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also. So Judah did the same thing. The southern kingdom and the northern kingdom was wicked as hell. All right, and played the harlot. Went a-whoring after other gods. All right, you know, and that's why we were brought down, man. You know, and that's how we became Gentiles. You know, going back to the Israelites being known as Gentiles. All right, so matter of fact, let's get that in Baruch again. All right, we went a-whoring after other gods, man. All right, and that's why we were brought down. All right, as a nation, as a people, as a kingdom. All right, so Baruch 2 and 4, it says, moreover, he has delivered them to be in subjection to all the kingdoms that are round about us, to be as a reproach and a desolation among all the people round about, where the Lord has scattered them. Yeah, so the Lord deliver us, all right, to be in subjection to all these kingdoms, all right? We were put in captivity into slavery under all these kingdoms, man, because we went a-whoring, worshiping after other gods, man. All right, that's why we were in the Assyrian captivity. Then after the Assyrian captivity, the Babylonian captivity. After the Babylonian captivity, all right, we went into one slavery to the next. Still to this day, we still in slavery under Esau, Edom, the so-called white men here in Babylon, here in America. All right, so we went from the Syrian captivity to the Babylonian captivity after another. Assyrian captivity to the Babylonian captivity, from the Babylonian captivity to the Persian captivity, Medo Empire captivity. All right. Then after the Persian captivity, you had the Greek captivity. Then after the Greek captivity, you had the Roman captivity. One slave after another, man. All right. It says, Baruch chapter 2 and 4, moreover, he has delivered them to be in subjection to all the kingdoms that are round about us, to be as a reproach and desolation among all the people round about, where the Lord has scattered them. Thus we were cast down and not exalted, because we have sinned against the Lord our God and have not been obedient unto his voice. And that's why we're in the position that we're in today. All right, we came over here on slave ships, bro. All right, because us being the Lord's chosen people. All right, the Lord loves us, and because he loves us, all right, the Lord chastised us, he punished us, right? Matter of fact, let's get that. All right. Because the Lord not going to chastise you if you don't love you. Just like when you like your son and your daughter, when a man or a woman, a father or mother is bringing up their son or their daughter, right? They give them laws and rules to abide by in the household, and what they do, they punish them if they don't if they go off, man. You get grounded. You either get beaten or grounded. Why? Because your parents are trying to bring you up the right way, man. They know what's best for you. And because they love you, man. And that's what the Lord did to us. Because he loves us, he punished us and destroyed us, man. All right? He's hitting us with that rod of correction, man. All right? To straighten us out, man. So that we could come back to him, man. And stop being a damn whore, man. You know? All right? So let's get that in Amos. All right? Amos, and we also get it in the Hebrews. All right? Amos 3. All right, Amos 3 and 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Yeah, it goes to show you that the Lord is only dealing with the Israelites. The Lord said, out of all the families of the earth, out of all the races of people, the nations of people on this earth, only you have I known. only you I love. All right? The Lord only loves one people. He only has one chosen people, man. You know? Well, let's keep reading anyway. Let's read that again. Amos 3:1. Hear this word that Yahweh has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, only you have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Yeah, because since the Lord knows us, he loves us, he will punish us for all our iniquities. If we go off, the Lord going to chastise us to straighten us out. That's why we went into slavery here in America. All right, because being God's chosen people, all right, the Lord punished us. What we went through here in America, and what we still go through here in America to this day, you Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, that's a punishment from the Heavenly Father. All right, us coming over here on slave ships, being chained up and whipped and beaten to death, literally. You know, our God, you know, beating our identity beaten out of us, the name of our God beaten out of us, who we are was beaten out of us. All right, the Lord used Esau, the so-called white man, as his sword to straighten us out, man. All right, to punish us, man. All right, because the scriptures say that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is the Lord's sword. All right, the Lord uses Esau, Edom to bring destruction onto us, man. All right, you know, upon this earth, you know. So let's also get that in Hebrews. All right, this Hebrews 6. All right. My bad, not Hebrews 6, Hebrews 12. All right. All right, Hebrews 12 and 5. All right. Hebrews 12 and 5, it says, and ye forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as all children, my son, despise not the chastening of the Lord. Yeah, because the people in this truth, all right, they go through the real chastening, all right? The people that follow Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, all right, because this walk is not easy, all right? This walk of faith is not easy, man. All right, the way to the kingdom of heaven is not easy, man. All right, when you read, I think it's 2nd Hedges, the 7th chapter. All right, when it talks about the hard walk. All right, the narrow path. It's like if there's a giant, a deep water on one side and a pit of fire on the other side, and only one man could go in at a time, man. All right, it's a very narrow path. It's a hard path to walk on, man. All right, the men of the Lord go through great hell in this truth, man. Because that's the Lord that's putting them through that hell, because you can't reach the kingdom of heaven unless you go through the fire first. All right, because the Lord is cleansing you by putting you through that fire, man. All right. So the scriptures say, despise not the chastening of the Lord, man. The men of the Lord, they go through many things. They go through great hell in many ways. All right. Everybody goes through their own hell, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, bro, whatever they go through in life. All right. Everyone's hell is different. Everyone's walk is different in this truth, man. All right, and we all going through something, man. All right. It says, my son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. Yeah, because the Lord chastises us. He rebukes us whenever we go off. Because in this truth, you will go off. You know, we try not to. You know, we keep the laws and the commandments and do the work to the best of our ability, man. You know. It says, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth. Yeah. All right. So when the Lord puts hell on you, man, all right, the Lord's chastising you. Why? Because he loveth you, man. All right. whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, man. All right? If you're not going through no hell, then the Lord don't love you, man. You know? It says, verse 6, whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. Ooh. All right? So know that the Lord is dealing with you, man, when you're going through a hard walk in this truth, man. All right? The Lord scourges everyone who he receiveth, man. The Lord is putting us through that fire. He's purging us, man, of our, what is it called? He's purging us of our iniquity, man. All right? Matter of fact, let's get that in the book of Sirach. Let's get that real quick. All right? It says, the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Yeah, prepare your soul for temptation. Hell, all right? Because a lot of you people think, oh, you know, when you serve the Lord, you know, things always go over. No, the Lord said when you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Prepare your soul for temptation. Prepare your soul for hell. All right, prepare your soul for many things, because many things are going to jack you up and try to knock you off your course, man. All right, but what did Paul say, man? All right, what shall separate us from the Lord, man? All right? My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. Yeah, you gotta constantly endure this hell, this walk, man. Because I know brothers go through great hell, man. You know, and if you're one of the ones that the Lord set up to have a mental hell, trust me, bro. That's why I said it. You already know, bro. That's a great hell. You know? But we all, like the scriptures say, you know, our brethren go through hell, man. And not just you, man. But sometimes it might feel like, man, nobody going through what I'm going through. You might feel like that, like, come on, man, like, why just me? Like, ain't nobody going through, you know? You might feel like that, like, you're the only one that's going through, like that suffering, bro. But we all going through hell in this truth, man. You know? Some type of way, man. You know? Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. And make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So you got to constantly endure that hell, man. That's the Most High chastening you because he loves you. The Lord is getting ready to receive you, man. So endure unto the end, because those who endure to the end, the same shall be saved. You know? It says, verse 7, if ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. Woo! All right? If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? That's right, man. All right, the Lord said he gonna put the elect through that fire, man. Woo-hoo-hoo. Let's get that. All right, let's get that. Let's get it real quick. Yup. Let's continue where I was at. Ecclesiasticus 2, and I'll start at 1 again. All right, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Yeah, because you might have it all, man. But the Lord can take that away from you. Because the Lord said, yo, when you come to serve me, prepare your heart for temptation. You're going to go through hell. You're going to go through things. The Lord said, when you're changed to a low estate, be patient, man. Because the scriptures say the Lord also knows how to lift the beggar out of the dunghill, man. The Lord can take a man who's at the complete lowest he has ever been and just all of a sudden just set you on high, man. You know? Who? All right? Whatsoever is brought upon thee, yeah, whatever hell was brought upon you, all right? Take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a low state. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right? Woo-hoo-hoo. All right? The Lord, you're acceptable man. All right? Until Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, when you're brought through all that adversity, that hell, the Lord is purging all those all the bad stuff out of you, man. You know? Woo. All right? He's taking all the impure. That's the word I was looking for. The Lord is purging all the impurities out of you, man. He's just like he said right here. All right? For gold is tried in the fire. Yeah, gold is tried because when you cleanse gold, all right, you melt it down, all right? You mold it down, right? And you're taking all the impurities out of it, man. And that's what the Lord is doing to you. He's cleansing you through that fire. He's purging you through that fire, just like how gold is purged in the fire. All right? So it says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. That's right. You got to trust what the Lord is doing, man. All right? You know? But lean not unto your own understanding, man. Lord, the Lord is going to take you out of this, man. Especially if you are in this faith, this truth, man. Especially if you know the names of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and you're a sincere man, you know? All right? But it says, Hebrews 12:6, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, all right, and scourges every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. And what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. All right, you see? All right. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us. Yeah, our earthly fathers. All right. And we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Yeah, the Father of spirits talking about to the Most High. Because our parents used to endure us, all right, chastise us with whether it was the belt, whatever, getting grounded, all right, and we gave them respect, man. So Paul's saying, all right, shall we not respect the Lord even more? Because he's the Father of spirits. He's the Most High, man. When he chastises us. Right? It says, furthermore, we have had our fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? The Father of spirits is a title for the Most High. You see? All right? Shall we not be in subject unto the Father of spirits and live? You know? All right? It says, for they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasures. But he for our profit. Yeah, because we're going to come out on top of the end, man. All right? Because when you're brought through that fire, that hell, all right, at the end, what's the end? The kingdom of heaven, man. The kingdom of heaven. All right? Second Ezra, the 7th chapter goes into that. That's a beautiful chapter, bro. All right, that's a beautiful chapter, man. All right, matter of fact, let's get it. We'll get it. All right, because you got to go through the hell before you got to go through the straight gate, the narrow gate, before you can enter into the broad, man. All right. It says, for they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness, the kingdom, man. All right, so let's also grab that in 2nd Esdras, man. 7th chapter. This is such a beautiful chapter, bro. All right. Esdras, all right, second Esdras, all right, chapter 7, all right, starting at the first verse, all right, it says, and when I made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me an angel, which had been sent unto me the night afore, and he said unto me, up, Esdras, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee. And I said, speak on, my God. Then said he unto me, the sea is set in a wide place, that he might be deep, that it might be deep and great. The sea is talking about, represents the kingdom of heaven, all right? The sea is set in a wide place, right? Which is the kingdom of heaven, all right? I'll read it again. It says, the sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrances were narrow and like a river. Yeah, because in order to get to the kingdom of heaven, you got to go through that narrow gate, that straight and rough gate, man. You got to go through that hell. It's not easy to go through that narrow gate, man. That narrow way, man. But you got to go through that because you appreciate it more, all right? When you get to the kingdom, man, you appreciate it more. All right, because you know these chains of darkness that we live in, man. Right, you know the Lord put us in these chains of darkness so that when we're made immortal, you know how great that's gonna feel, bro. You know how great that's gonna feel going from these chains of darkness, these vile and broken down bodies into an immortal, bro. That's gonna feel so great, bro. That's gonna feel crazy, bro. The Lord did that so we can appreciate it more. It's gonna be wild. You know how great that's gonna feel. Like, bro, like, yo, it's gonna be wild, bro. Straight up. It's going to be wild, bro. All right? It says, the sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case the narrow, the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it, which is the kingdom of heaven? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? Woo-hoo-hoo. If you don't go through that hell, you can't make it to heaven, man. You got to go through that rough and narrow gate. You got to go through that hell, that fire that the Lord puts you here on earth, walking in this truth, man. This faith, man, that the Lord puts you through, man. Because the Lord is cleansing you, man, so that he's able to receive you. All right? All right? It says there is also another thing. A city is builded, which represents the kingdom of heaven, and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. Talking about the kingdom of heaven, all right? The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water. Yeah, so it's a rough path, man. All right, a rough and scary path, man. All right. All right. It says there is also another thing. There is a city building, which represents the kingdom, and set upon a broad field, and is builded, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. Yeah, that's how narrow this path is. That only one man at a time could go through at once. You can't walk through with your homie by your side. You gotta walk first, and then your homie could walk. You gotta. It's like this. You walking like this. All right. So it says, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, which represents the kingdom, all right, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? Woo, woo, woo. So you gotta go through that hell, that chastisement, that hard walk that this faith puts you through, man. All right. It says, and I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world. All right, the world was created for Israel's sakes. All right, for Israel's sake. All right, for us to rule upon this earth. That's why this earth was created, for us to rule with Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, because first and foremost it's his earth, but he's going to allow us to rule with him. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Ratazah, I am part of that number, man. All right, the Lord literally created the entire planet Earth for us to rule on and have fun on and enjoy, so this earth could be a paradise unto us. All right. All right, so I'll just leave it at there, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Let's see where I'm at. All right, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. All right, so I want to say, Ko Haloyam Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakah Kwitash. All right, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and who rule well in this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the true chosen people of the book. All right, so with that being said, until the next one, Shalom.